Hi friends, welcome to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am your host with the most, and I'm here with you today to go over a personal favorite of mine, little car seat known as the Clek Foonf. So there's already a broad amount of available information on this seat, but I realized today that I've never made a video on this seat, and this is a seat that's very near and dear to my heart, so I wanted to make sure that I went over it with my customers so that they could understand what makes this guy special. So this is a seat that is made in Canada, so it's from a company called Clek, C-L-E-K. They are out of Toronto, and they do an excellent job with a very green seat, a recyclable seat, a seat that is actually industry leading for safety. They have transparent information about their safety testing. One of the best seats for transparency with the consumer about what they're doing and hitting on a lot of notes that parents like. So things that our customers definitely appreciate. It's a 17-inch wide seat, so it's a very narrow seat. You can fit 3 in a row, which is really cool. The Foonf, which is this version here, they make 2 convertible seats, one called the Foonf and one called the Flow. I personally prefer this one because it has more safety features. And with car seats, with safety features, I sort of feel like more is more. So I appreciated that about it. You have about a 17-inch seated torso height on the shoulder height harness, so that's really good for kids as they age. It's going to fit a backward-facing child from 14 pounds sitting upright unassisted to 50 pounds, and then forward facing from 22 pounds to 65 pounds. This seat is great because you can do what's called extended rear facing, which means you can leave them in that backward mode for longer because it holds a larger weight. Also, you'll see on this seat, and mine is a bit unusual. This color is called Winter Mammoth, but I have the bottom portion in a black plastic. Normally this would be in white plastic to match, but I have it this way so that I can illustrate to my consumers what's going on a little bit more easily, and hopefully that's useful for you. So you see it will come with this front bar here. That is called an anti-rebound bar. You do have to put that on when it's going into a backward facing mode. And sometimes that freaks people out. They're like, why? Why would you need that? When the seat goes into a car backward facing, if you think about the physics of an accident, so we're driving this way and we stop suddenly, the seat will want to continue to move in this direction. It's going to bear down on the soft of the upholstery here, and all that energy is going to sit there, and we know that that's going to release. That prevents this seat from having a rocking motion back in this direction where like the headrest could come up and the whole kid could smash into the back of the seat. In Canada, they actually have regulations that prevent car seats from doing this. In the United States, we do not have any type of regulation about rebound. So that is why I harp on picking a seat with an anti-rebound feature if you can. It really limits the type of motion a seat can have in an accident. Additionally, if you're struck from the side or you're in a rollover, this is going to mitigate the movement that the seat will have, and it's going to help the child stay in the correct body positioning and placement. So I personally think it's an excellent safety feature. I love that they've been on the forefront of doing this and they have normalized this. So Clek gets an A+ from me in terms of just this one safety feature alone. There are other car seats that now incorporate this. However, this seat is still industry leading in a class by itself for safety based on its forward facing installation, and we're going to show you that as well. So, as you can see in rear facing mode, it does have very high sidewalls, and because it's sitting on a piece to position it, it does sit up a little bit higher. Sometimes people are concerned that it will block their vision from their car. I've almost never encountered that to be a problem, even in very, very small vehicles. Usually a headrest on the back seat is about at the same level as what the headrest would be here, so I haven't encountered that. What I will say is that it is a long seat from nose to tail. It's about 33 inches, so you're going to want to keep that in mind if the people in the front of the vehicle like to have their seats very far back. This may make the most sense in the middle position for rear facing. That way the other 2 seats can sort of slide by more easily and then everybody gets as much space as possible, but it's completely your call. As long as it's not in a frontal airbag, I'm happy. Okay, so additionally, let's turn it around to be a forward facing seat. How do we do that? The seat has Super clear. It's very heavy. It's 50 pounds because it's solid steel frame. But I'm going to go ahead and take this portion off. And that actually reveals like the interior of the seat. This is what's referred to as an open belt path. So when you are doing any type of installation, latch or seat belt for rear facing, you're gonna have a very clear view of what the heck is going on. You're also gonna be able to lock off your latches or your seat belt very, very easily because these lock offs in rear facing mode are excellent. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the latch here to take out my anti-rebound device. Now again, this is not a switch you're doing every day. Sometimes people get very nervous about this or this makes them feel apprehensive. I understand the apprehension, but I promise you it's not difficult. It's pretty straightforward. That'll come out. We'll put our pins on the floor just so I can lose them later. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the seat piece back on. Now what's cool is that I'm able to take this off, remove all the fabric and clean this, because I promise you, this is the piece that gets the dirtiest out of all the car seat stuff is where they're sitting. So I love that this is removable. You can take this off to wash. They also have Krypton fabrics, which will have liquid bead on it, like mercury. If you ever saw Terminator 2, like the T-1000 when he breaks apart. So that's sweet for cleanliness. They also have a kit for cleaning your Krypton car seats. It's incredible. I bought it for $29.99 to spiff up a customer's seat, and it looked brand new after I had used it, and the seat definitely needed it, but it looked awesome when it was finished, so I do love that for cleanliness. Now, it's not going to sit up so high in its rear forward-facing mode. This is sort of where this piece being black is useful. Typically, that will match whatever color you get, and this seat comes in a ton of different cool colors. You can pick white plastic, you can pick the black plastic, whatever you like. Price points range on this guy from $5.50 to $5.99, depending on the color that you want. And as you can see here, for a forward-facing car seat, the thing that's going to really make this one special, yes, it has the top tether. All convertible car seats in the United States have to have this. We are definitely going to hook this up. This is super important on car seat installation for forward-facing. It makes your seat a million times safer, so we always want to use this. But if we look down at the bottom of the seat, this guy has what's referred to as rigid latch. So we have a steel latch component hitting with the lower anchor of our vehicle. I got one side, and get the other side. Green. Why I say green is that there's a green window on both sides to indicate when it's hooked up with the latch. This is a little bit difficult because this is a demonstration seat. What I normally would have done in a real world install is taken this and leaned it back slightly. That would have popped in a little more easily, but just for right now, this works. And then again, we would always hook up the top tether because that's a very important step. Every car after 1999 by law has to have a top tether. And cars that don't have it, that are older than that, you can sometimes even get pieces to make one attach onto there. But you definitely want to install that piece. And this is going to be the seat for forward facing. It's actually pretty slick, looks very low profile. And the thing about it is that the metal to metal connection here is going to work with what they have called their REACT system. That's rigid energy absorbing crumple technology. What on earth does that mean to a consumer? What it means is when another car hits you, the way that that system works, it's going to slow down the force from transferring from the external parts of your car and the seat to your child. The longer it takes for that energy to transfer, the more decrease in the force there will be on their body. So for backward facing, based on the anti-rebound bar and the fact that the seat's all steel and it has aluminum on the inside that's, I think, hexagon or octagonal, it becomes much more difficult as it's crumpled and compressing to becomes more and more and more difficult to continue to compress. So at some point that force and that energy just slows down and stops, and ideally the seat rides down and that motion does not hit the child at full force. So that's what the seat is intended to do, and that is what they do super well. So rear facing, we've got an anti-rebound device for all types of different accidents. For forward facing, it's the only seat currently available in North America that has the rigid latch installation for a forward-facing car seat. In Europe, tons of seats do this. We just don't do this in America because it's very expensive, and we are always designing everything to be as low cost as possible to try and sell as much as possible. However, with safety products, I think it's really critical to understand what you are getting for the extra money. If safety is a priority for you, if you know for sure that you want the world's best car seat, or not the world's best, but the safest option in North America currently, has been for years, it's definitely going to be this product. Now, the other one that they do, the Flow, doesn't have the rigid latch for the forward-facing installation. People are like, well, why would you ever buy that? There are situations where that seat absolutely makes more sense, but my preference is definitely this one because you're getting your strongest value for dollar in terms of safety. Now, things that people might not necessarily be thrilled about with this seat are going to be that it is a manual rethread harness, which means as the child gets older, you're going to have to rethread that. My argument there is set the shoulder straps up to the next highest setting before you install the seat for forward facing, because that doesn't affect the safety and it will make your life definitely a little bit easier. That's one way sort of around that. And then I find in rear facing mode, I actually don't have to uninstall the seat to do any shoulder adjustment. Now in rear facing mode, technically you really wouldn't ever have to if you didn't want to, provided that the shoulder strap was always below their shoulders. But if you did want to raise it, the accessibility panel on the back is pretty great. They're going to have the best recycling program out of anybody. They do actually have an option for you to send their seats back to be recycled, which is wild. I don't know of any other brand that does that. Also, when you think about just like leaving the world better for the child that you've just had and not having stuff pile up in a landfill, this seat is going to fit that criteria very nicely because it does have a 9 or a 10-year expiration date, I'm pretty sure. I could double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 10 years. I'll leave in the comments exactly what the amount is. But yeah, I've sold this seat my entire career. It is the seat that I used with my nephews because I didn't trust my sister's driving. Everybody's fine. Nobody got in an accident, but it is just a peace of mind thing for me. Yeah, so the consumers that have it, generally speaking, really love it. If there is confusion or you have questions about this product, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would love to be able to answer them for you. I do think that this is a super solid value for dollar. They're going to be mad at me because I'm not showing it with its crotch belt cover. It definitely will come with one. Has an adjustable crotch piece, shorter, longer, but then also 2 different positions for rear and forward facing. And this is one of the few seats that you can like get it to recline when it's already installed. In this case, I would need to like loosen it slightly and enable myself to do that. But it does have a 2-position recline, so you can be more upright or more reclined without uninstalling the seat, which there's like 3 seats that do that. So this being one of them is pretty sweet. The Flow doesn't do this, just the Foonf. Yeah, but thank you so much for watching. We do love Clek. I want to say a special hi to Chris and Jen, the owners of Clek. Nice. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. And if you have comments, feel free to leave them below. I would love to hear them. Yeah, but thank you so much. Please hit like or subscribe. If you have friends that are in the market for this type of stuff, please feel free to share the video. And we look forward to helping you and seeing you in the next one that we do. Thank you so much.